daily greater and greater, so that after within half a year, as King Uther lay by his queen, he asked her by the faith she owed to him whose was the body, and she swore that she give answer, dismay you not, said the king, but tell me the truth, and I shall love you the better by the faith of my body. Sir, said she, I shall tell you the truth. The same night that my lord was dead, the hour of his death, as his knights record, there came into my castle since ago a man like my lord in speech and countenance, and the two knights with him in likeness of his two knights, Brastias and Jordanus. And so I went into bed with him as I ought to do with my lord, and the same night as I shall answer unto God. So this child was begotten upon me, that is truth, said the king, as he said, for it was I myself that came in the likeness, and therefore dismay you not, for I am father of the child. And there he told all the cause, how it was by Merlin's counsel, and the queen made great joy when she knew who was the father of her child. Soon came Merlin unto the king, and said, Sir, he must purvey you for the nourishing of your child, as thou wilt, said the king, be it. Well, said Merlin, I know a lord of yours in this land that is a passing true man, and a faithful, and he shall have the nourishing of your child, and his name is Sir Ector, and he is a lord of fair livelihood in many parts in England and Wales, and this lord Sir Ector, let him be sent for to come and speak with you, and desire himself, yourself, as he loveth you, that he will put his own child to nourishing to another woman, and that his wife nourish yours. And when the child is born, let it be delivered to me at yonder privy postern unchristened, so like as Merlin devised it was done. And when Sir Hector was come, he made finance to the king for to nurse the child, like as the king desired, and there the child granted Sir Hector great rewards. But then, when the lady was delivered, the king commanded two knights and two ladies to take the child bound in cloth of gold, that he delivered him to what poor man he meet at the postern gate of the castle. So the child was delivered unto Merlin, and so he bare it forth unto Sir Hector, and made an holy man to christen him, and named him Arthur. And so Sir Hector's wife nourished him with her own pap. Chapter 4 of the death of King Uther Pendragon. When within 2 years King Uther fell sick of great malady, and in the meanwhile his enemies usurped upon him, and did a great battle upon his men, and slew many of his people. Sir, and said Merlin, ye may not lie so as ye do, for ye must to the field, though ye ride on a horse litter, for ye shall never have the better of your enemies, but if a person be there, then shall ye have the victory. So was done as Merlin had devised, and they carried the king forth in a horse litter with a great host towards his enemies. And at St. Albans there he met with the king, a great host of the north, and that day Sir Ulfius and Sir Bracius did great deeds of arms, and King Uther's men overcame the northern battle, and slew many people, and put the remnant to flight. Then the king returned unto London, and made great joy of his victory, and then he flew passing sore sick, so that 3 days and 3 nights he was speechless, wherefore all the barons made great sorrows, and asked Merlin what counsel were best. There is none other remedy, said Merlin, that God will have his will, but ye all barons be before King Uther to mourn, and God and I shall make him to speak. So on the morn all the barons with Merlin came before the king. Then Merlin said aloud unto King Uther, Sir, shall your son Arthur be king after your days of this realm with all the opportunities? Then Uther Pendragon turned him and said in the hearing of them all, I give him God's blessing and mine, and bid him pray for my soul, and righteously and worshipfully that he claim the crown upon my forfeiture of my blessing. And therewith he yielded up the ghost, and then he was enrolled as longed to a king, wherefore the queen Igraine made great sorrow, and all the barons. Chapter 5, how Arthur was a chosen king, and of wonders and marvels of sword, taken out of a stone by the said Arthur. Then stood the realm in great jeopardy a long while, for every lord that was mighty of men made him strong, and many wounded to have been king. Then Merlin went to the Archbishop of Canterbury, and counselled him for to send all the lords of the realm, and all the gentlemen of arms, they should to London come by Christmas, upon pain of cursing for this cause, that Jesus that was born on that night, that he would of his great mercy show some miracle, as he was come to be king of mankind, for to show some miracle, who should be rightwise king of this realm. So the Archbishop, by the advice of Merlin, sent for all the lords and gentlemen of arms, that they should come by Christmas even unto London, and many of them made them clean of their life, and their prayer might be the more acceptable unto God. So in the greatest church of London, whether it were of Paul's or not, the French book maketh no mention, all the estates were long for days in the church for to pray. And when matins and the first mass was done, there was seen in the churchyard, against the high altar, a great stone, 4 squares, like unto a marble stone, and in the midst thereof was like an anvil of steel, a foot on high, and therein stuck a fair sword, naked by the point, and letters there were written in gold about the sword, that said thus, Whoso pulleth out this sword of the stone and anvil is rightwise king born of all England. And then the people marveled, and told it to the Archbishop, I command, said the Archbishop, that ye keep you within your church, and pray unto God still, that no man touch the sword, till the high mass be all done. So when all masses were well done, all the lords went to behold the stone and the sword, and when they saw in the scripture some assayed, such as would have been king, then none might stir the sword nor move it. He is not here, said the Archbishop, that shall achieve the sword, but doubt not God will make him known. But this is my counsel, said the Archbishop, that we will let privy 10 knights, men of good fame, and they keep to this sword, so it was ordained. And then was made a cry that every man should assay that would for to win the sword, that upon New Year's Day the barons let make a joust and a tournament, that all knights that would joust or tourney there might play. And all this was ordained for to keep the lords together and the commons, for the Archbishop trusted that God would make him known that should win the sword. So upon New Year's Day, when the service was done, the barons rode into the fields unto joust and some to tourney. And so it happened that Sir Hector, that had great livelihood about London, rode into the joust. With him rode Sir Kay his son, and young Arthur, that was nourished his brother. And Sir Kay was made knight at all Hollow Mass. Afore so as they rode to the joust ward, Sir Kay lost his sword, for he had left it at his father's lodging. And so he prayed young Arthur for to ride for his sword. I will well, said Arthur, and rode fast after the sword. And when he came home, the lady all were out to see the jousting. When was Arthur wroth, and said to himself, I will ride to the churchyard and take the sword with me that sticketh in the stone, for my brother Sir Kay shall not be without a sword this day. When he came to the churchyard, Sir Arthur alighted alighted and tried his horse to the stile, and so he went to the tent, and found no knights there, for they were at the jousting. And so he handled the sword by the handles, and lightly and fiercely poured it out with a stone, and took his horse and rode his way until he came to his brother Sir Kay, and delivered him the sword. And as soon as Sir Kay saw the sword, he wished it well as the sword of the stone. And so he rode to his father Sir Hector, and said, Sir, lo, here is the sword of the stone, wherefore I must be the king of this land. When Sir Hector beheld the sword, he returned again and came to the church, and there they alighted all three, and went into the church. And anon he made Sir Kay swear upon a book now how he came to that sword. Sir and Sir Kay, by my brother Arthur, for he brought it to me. How gat he the sword? And Sir Hector to Arthur, Sir, I will tell you, when I came home from my brother's sword, I found nobody at home to deliver me his sword, and so I thought my brother Sir Kay should not be swordless. Yeah? Okay, be right down. Chapter 5. This is actually amazing. This is an amazing read. This is absolutely incredible. I didn't think it was going to be good, but this is like actually holding lightning. Wow. Here.